So before I joined the Next Level Creators, I was basically running my own production company, kind of doing a little bit of everything. I had graduated school, film school in 2016, and I came back home trying to do a documentary about my grandparents, and I knew that was going to take a while to get started, so I started up my own little production company, and at first I did a little bit of everything. I started doing commercials, and then I started working with real estate, taking photos and video and flying drone and stuff like that for different realtors. And so I was doing these odd jobs all over the place, and my mindset really, when I first started, was to just do whatever I could to make money. Just do commercials, do real estate, take photos, do weddings. I mean, just any type of job I could get, I would do just to, get off the ground. But through that process, I realized how hard it was because I wasn't specializing in anything. I wasn't tackling any specific pain point or anything like that, and I was getting kind of frustrated because I wasn't really moving. I was making enough to survive, but just barely. And there's times where I would do really well, and then times I wouldn't do very well at all. And so I've created commercials for businesses, and one of the biggest issues I've seen them have is they didn't know what to do with the commercial. It would look good. I'd be really happy with it. They would be happy with it. It would sit on their website or on YouTube. They post it on Facebook, and it wouldn't do anything for them. And when I would create these videos, it was more about the company. It wasn't super specific. They look good. I was happy with them, but it wasn't really creating value for the client. Like, I couldn't sell myself and sell videos to people, so I stopped producing them. I couldn't sell myself and the commercials. So like, I could walk in and I could convince somebody to buy them, but I couldn't sell myself on the fact that it wasn't getting them sales. Like, I didn't want to keep producing commercials if it wasn't actually bringing value to the client, because that just didn't make sense to me. Even though I was super passionate about making commercials, I just couldn't convince myself to do it. I couldn't go out and do these sales meetings because I just didn't feel right about it. And so I was trying to figure out, I was in that process before finding Next Level Creators of how do I start creating value for these clients, and how do I make commercials have value? How do I understand where the value is? And I found a couple groups, and I've talked to other big production companies, and they would say things like, charge what your value is, and know what your worth is, and charge higher, and all this stuff. And for me, it was hard to charge high if I didn't know what type of value it was creating. Like, I'm bringing out the message, but what type of return are these people getting? And I really didn't know. And so I started in the process of creating distribution. Like, I knew that was the next step. So I started looking into Facebook ads as being the next step, as adding to the commercials to actually help the commercials make a difference for these people. And as soon as I started looking that up, Paul Xavier pops up in my news feed and YouTube, on LinkedIn, like just all over the place. And it was meeting my need. It was meeting my need of creating value for clients. It was going to train me as a videographer to become a skilled marketer in creating distribution for these videos, to where these videos actually have value now. And not only do they create value, you can track that value and scale it, and it's predictable and all these things, and exactly what almost every company around me is begging for. And so that's and I found out about them, through the very means that I was going to learn how to do. So I saw them on Facebook, and it was going to teach me how to do the very way they captured me. They were going to teach me how to do that for other people. And so that was pretty cool. So that's how I found Paul. My experience with Paul so far has been really amazing. What I love about Paul is he's not this insanely fast talker. He's not just telling me what I want to hear. He's telling me what I need to hear. And one of the biggest things that I think Paul has trained me is changing my mindset. And part of that mindset change is focus. Before, I did all of these things trying to, it's almost like a water spigot. And I was trying to just grab all these spigots from all these different ways and trying to just trickle in from all these different ways to make money. And Paul really helped me understand, like, just pick one and then just turn it on full blast. Just keep working on it till it's flowing as fast as it can, and work at it that way. And I love that too, because then I get to focus on what I love to do, which is commercial making and business building. And those are my two focuses. And Next Level Creators allows me to do that. And so being able to change my focus is one of the biggest things that I think Paul's helped me to do, and is continuing to do in me, in changing that mindset in me. And so I've really loved working with Paul. He's quick to help. He knows what he's talking about, and I really look up to that. And it's been a blast so far. Next Level Creators has really changed my business model, from going from making money and just trying to find openings in the marketplace of like where I can make money, to becoming value based, to where I focus on the client, bringing value to the client. So it's not just me about making products. The products don't even matter. What matters is the value. What type of value am I bringing to the client, and can I prove the value that I'm bringing to them, so I can track exactly what I'm doing for them, and we can see together, okay, this is what we're getting, and we get to try out different things. And so my business model has changed completely, and I've also been more efficient because I'm more focused. It's another thing that Paul taught me was, now I'm more focused on what I want, and I'm willing to sacrifice whatever I need to get there. That's one thing that Paul really pushes, is sacrifice all the nonsense, all the stuff that doesn't matter, and really focus and double down, because millionaires and these successful businessmen have a different lifestyle than most people. They're more focused, and that's one thing that Paul's helping me do as well. And in terms of life, it's the same concept of getting rid of distractions, video games, social media, things like that take up time, because time is money. Paul mentions a few times of getting to $1,000 an hour, for sales, and like these things, the time that you spend on these things have value, like price numbers on them of how much it's worth, right? So it's changing my life from going from these time methods that don't bring in money to time methods that do, right? So going from playing video games or watching TV or doing this stuff that's not bringing in any money to being more focused, getting rid of those distractions and making more money, or making more money to where you can have more fun traveling, so it's all about the lifestyle. And that's what Next Level Creator is really allowing me to do, is create the lifestyle that I want. Where do you see yourself going next? My goal is to reach 6 figures a year. I've started out pretty small. I've been pretty small since the beginning, and so I want to hit 6 figures. That's what I want to hit by next year at some point, to where I'm at 6 figures, and then I want to hit 6 figures and then 7 figures. 7 figures is kind of the honey spot. That's my big goal. So, and I think the cool thing is I don't have to go build multiple businesses to get there. I can just double down on what Next Level Creators is teaching me, and perfect it and duplicate it over and over with different niche markets, or the same niche market, and just blow up in that niche market. And that's just cool that I don't have to run off to multiple other courses to get what I need. I have everything in Next Level Creators, and all my goals are wrapped in Next Level Creators. It teaches me how to do sales. It teaches me how to actually run these ads, how to shoot the commercials, how to have the right mindset, how to reach the 8 figures that I want to get to eventually, which is all in one package, which is super cool. I would absolutely recommend Next Level Creators to anybody that is serious. So I would scare off people that aren't serious. It's the same concept of film school. There was a lot of kids that weren't serious. Half of them dropped out, and only maybe 10% of them are actually in the film career doing it some way or some other way. So it's a waste of money for anybody that's not serious, anybody that's not going to sacrifice and work hard. Because I've seen people in the course, and I've even been this at times, where I wasn't working hard. I wasn't doing what Paul was telling me to do, and I didn't get any results because of it. And I actually stopped doing the course for a while, and of course didn't get any results. And then I doubled down again, got my first client, and now working really hard and getting more results. So it's exciting to see it work, but you have to put in the work. So I would refer to anybody that's really serious of changing their life, changing their business, as long as they're going to do the work, actually listen to what they're being taught and get out there and do it, So I think it's an amazing course. I'm excited. I see myself being in it for a very long time, and not just helping me get to, 6 figures, but 8 figures eventually. So that's it. I think Next Level Creators is great. I kind of jumped in head first, hoping it would be good, and it was exactly what I hoped it would be, which is surprising because most of the time things aren't that way. So, anyways, that's it. That's it for me.